The situation in Iraq is deteriorating rapidly as well. You mentioned last week that you are considering holding a meeting for the Security Council on the security in the Middle East. Given what's happening in Iraq, is that still on the agenda?
This is still on the agenda. In fact, I think it's a pretty good idea because we now have a completely new dimension of terrorist threat in the Middle East. And as you know, we have monthly discussions of the situation in the Middle East. The next one is planned for the 24th of June. And we are going to have a meeting by Mr. Syria, the representative of the Secretary General for the Quartet for the Middle East. But then we'd like to add to that, in a closed format, a briefing from the Secretariat on the terrorist threat. I think one of the sort of shortcomings of our perspective was that we used to consider things country by country. You know, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, but then even worse, some members of the Council had different attitudes to different terrorists depending on where they are fighting. It seemed to be okay in Iraq, while it was not okay in Syria. But now we see a situation when the same terrorist group, ISIL or ISIS as some call it, is posing challenges both to Damascus and Baghdad. And of course, conducting this unparalleled maybe campaign in Baghdad. And clearly there is a flow of terrorists going in the Middle East and coming into the Middle East. And I think we need to get very seriously into this problem and see what we can do as the Security Council, as the international community, in order to deal with the threat. Because the terrorists, apparently, they do not have the same kind of a logic. You know, they do not recognize borders, and they fight governments, no matter what the attitude of various countries to them could be.
Follow up on that. There were statements from some Gulf states, from senior clerics like Yusuf Qaradawi, commending the actions of ISIL. How does the Security Council deal with that? Incitement to defeat other countries, to attack them? No, these countries are supposed to protect.
We need to take it up. The easiest thing for me to say, we would, of course, condemn such statements, but the most important thing is to see if a truly united response of the international community could be put together to this unparalleled challenge by the terrorist international.
Is Saudi Arabia still subscribing to this small influential groups that are cooperating about Syria?
I have to be careful about that, because our initial impression was that they were prepared to come to the table, but then frankly I don't quite understand what happened, because later we heard from OCHA that they were postponing this planned meeting to like late August, this kind of a leisurely pace of meetings, which to me is quite surprising. I don't know what the reason for that might be. Thank you very much.